Streaming on clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6 at 10.
If you don't believe in God, things like this make you believe in God. This could have turned deadly. Deadly.
Now on News 6, Volusia sheriff full of praise for a deputy hit twice during a shootout. A bullet aimed dead center at his chest instead hits his body camera. How that deputy is doing tonight and what we know about the man under arrest.
The week of the fire, I ended up in the hospital for 5 days to the tune of $97,000.
I'm sick. It's not from the fire. It's chemical. It's different.
People outraged seeing a huge fire of railroad ties put their health on the line, why their city leaders are waiting to take legal action of their own. Local deputies caught on camera tackling one guy and arresting another. The senior scam they are accused of could have victims far from Central Florida. And new video just in as Iran fires back at U.S. allies as the Pentagon and Israel continue pounding targets in Tehran. How long this war campaign could last. But we have to start now at 10 with breaking news out of Deltona. You heard Sheriff Mike Chitwood calling this divine intervention. A deputy's life may have been saved when a bullet aimed squarely at the center of his chest instead destroyed his body camera. That bullet then ricocheted into his shoulder. Another bullet went through his thigh. Still, the deputy is in good spirits tonight after the shootout at the front door of a home on Candler Drive. That's between Keysville Dog Park and Howland Boulevard. News 6 investigator Donovan Myrie is live near the scene tonight. And Donovan, Sheriff Mike Chitwood is praising the deputy and his rookie partner as heroes.
Yeah, Lisa, you got that right. I mean, you basically started off that quote, at 7:30 when Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood started off his press conference. He said, quote, "If you don't believe in God, you believe in him tonight." And he said that a bunch of times throughout his press conference. Tonight, Volusia County Deputy Jose Rivera is in the hospital recovering from multiple gunshot wounds. The man who shot him, 31-year-old Luis Diaz Palenco, well, he's in police custody. And Sheriff Mike Chitwood, he got to tell an amazing story how Deputy Rivera basically survived what could have been instant death.
Deputy Rivera, whose birthday is in about 12 days, thank God for his body camera, takes a round dead center in through the body camera, which we believe then ricochets through his shoulder, takes another shot through his leg. Deputies are able to evacuate him to safety, and they're able to extract Palenco out of the house and place him into custody. He's being questioned by FDLE, who's investigating the police discharge part of that. We're going to be investigating the attempted murder charges. Just to give you a little flavor for what we're dealing with here. People think it's not dangerous. It's dangerous. You're dealing with the human race. No matter how much information you have, here's a guy, clearly mental issues, obtains a firearm. And we've seen the history of that. Mentally ill folks get a firearm, and what happens next? Devastation.
And Lisa, this is what is left of Deputy Rivera's body cam. You can clearly see where the slug from Palenco's gun hit the device and then ricocheted into the deputy's shoulder. Now, Sheriff Chitwood said Deputy Rivera is in excellent condition. He said he was joking around with medical staff. Several things to note about this shooting. I asked Sheriff Chitwood about how deputies respond to shootings like this, and he says they have a policy of what's called load and go. Basically, you see someone down, you call for medical assistance, but you get that guy in the car, you get him to a hospital as soon as you can. And the hospital wasn't very, very far from here, which was pretty much a great thing. Secondly, the deputy's partner, Deputy Gomez Lopez, well, he's a rookie. He's been on the job 8 days, literally just graduated from the academy, and he's basically a trainee with all this. And finally, and this is amazing, you know how the sheriff talked about the bullet went and hit the body camera. Well, that was pretty much like center mass. 6 months ago, the deputies were wearing their body cameras up here on the shoulder. They just switched to center mass when they switched to these new body cameras. Lisa.
Wow, just an incredible story tonight, Donovan. Thank you. Our other top story: weeks after a huge pile of railroad ties caught fire in Dunellen, frustration is boiling over. Some people living in Dunellen have filed a class action lawsuit against the rail companies, claiming they were exposed to harmful chemicals. But tonight, city council members voted to hold off on seeking a court order against CSX, despite angry public comment. News 6's Alex Cook was in that meeting listening to their concerns.
The city of Dunellen decided not to join Marion County's injunction against CSX, the rail company that owns the property where those rail ties were stored. They said that they have no reason to think CSX won't clean up properly, and they're worried that legal action might cut the city out of the process altogether. Not everyone was happy about that decision. Some people here in council expressed their displeasure, and some even filed a class action lawsuit of their own.
The week of the fire, I ended up in the hospital for 5 days to the tune of $97,000.
I'm sick. It's not from the fire, it's chemical, it's different.
Some in Dunellen say the burning chemicals on the rail ties have made them sick. Vice Mayor Tim Inskeep says he's been working with CSX and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection as cleanup continues. He says they're doing the right thing.
Fire, yeah, that was pretty horrible. Post-fire, I can tell you CSX and DEP are going to see this through.
CSX is testing the soil, air, and water under state guidelines and supervision. Officials say so far the results show no danger to the public. But some residents say they don't trust the company to police itself.
The CSX hired Trackline knowing and accepting this is what they would attempt and do in our community. CSX they're no hero by any means here. CSX is above and beyond nothing. Thank you.
The City Council voted to table the injunction and speak about it at the next special meeting next week. Meanwhile, 2 people in Dunellen filed a class action lawsuit against the rail companies involved, seeking damages for people who say they were exposed during the fire. We'll stay on top of the lawsuits and the cleanup going forward. In Dunellen, Alex Cook, News 6.
Tonight, we are waiting to learn if a man accused of shooting and killing another man in downtown Orlando's Ivanhoe district will bond out of jail. A judge granted Jean Borja Gil de la Madre a $75,000 bond. After a nearly 3-hour hearing today, he is facing a second-degree murder charge in the death of 33-year-old Julian Cruz. During the hearing, defense attorney Mark O'Mara showed a surveillance video of the incident that happened outside the Savoy nightclub late last month. O'Mara does not dispute that his client shot and killed Cruz, but says it was in self-defense.
Obviously, it's a tragedy whenever you lose a life, but, you know, as you now saw the video, it's pretty apparent that my guy was not acting in a real aggressive way, and I truly am concerned about the guy who was behind him to his right that sort of attacked him from the side and got this whole thing going where a place it never should have gone.
O'Mara tells News 6 there will be a self-defense immunity hearing in this case, but that will likely be several months away. Now to video you will see only on News 6 tonight. A teacher in handcuffs. We now have the body camera video of when she was arrested on sex and drug charges. She's accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a teen at Crooms Academy. Your Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver has been following this story from the beginning.
We were the first to tell you about Mackenzie McLean's charges and then the history of disciplinary actions we discovered in her school personnel file. Now we are showing you the moment that she was taken into custody.
Wait, stop.
You can hear the panic in Mackenzie McLean's voice as deputies approach her outside her home in February.
Just talk to us. Tell us what you want us to do, okay?
The same home where the 49-year-old teacher at Crooms Academy is accused of having sex with a teenage boy while he was her student.
Is there a bond amount, do you know?
Yeah, there's no bond.
Okay.
I didn't do anything. Oh, that hurts. McLean was arrested after the now former student came forward and reported the inappropriate relationship that he says happened when he was a senior. This arrest affidavit for McLean says at the time she was an economics teacher here. The documents describe how it started and how it continued, how McLean allegedly gave him approximately 12 shots of gin the first night he was alone with her in a bedroom. He claims he pushed her off and told her it was wrong.
I didn't
She also has.
McLean repeatedly denied the allegations when she was arrested, and online court records show she's pled not guilty.
Can I have my phone back?
Screenshots of text messages included in the affidavit include phrases like, "I intentionally never initiated," and "I told myself each time that it wouldn't happen again, but then I let it happen again." The documents say they were sent from McLean's cell phone number.
You can have a seat in the car.
Right now, McLean is being held here at the jail in Seminole County, where she's been since the day she was arrested. She's expected back in court at the end of the month. In Seminole County, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
The Volusia Sheriff is warning about a scam targeting seniors, and he's promising to hold those behind it accountable.
Yeah, the sheriff says they were able to stop two men accused of scamming an 85-year-old man out of $6,000. They say the 85-year-old withdrew the money because he got a call from someone claiming to be the bank. An Uber driver then picked up the $6,000 and delivered it to a home in Daytona Beach.
Deputies say when one of the suspects called back the next day asking for more money, they stepped in. They prepared a fake package and tracked the delivery to the same address. Deputies say 22-year-old Giovanni Newton accepted the package, and they arrested him on the spot.
And they also say 20-year-old Michael Shackelford was arrested. He's accused of dropping Newton off at the pickup site. Both now face organized scheme to defraud charges. They're already out of jail on bond. Detectives say the account that ordered the Uber is tied to similar scams throughout the country. They believe the group is based out of South Florida. A man with a familiar name is in jail tonight, but it's not the guy you're thinking of.
Apopka police were called to the Wawa at Orange Blossom Trail and Hiawassee Road after an employee said somebody ran in, stole some beer, and then left without paying. Officers then tracked down a gentleman by the name of James Bond nearby who had an open can. A store employee confirmed he was the guy who took the beer. So here's the mugshot for James Bond. He was arrested on one count of theft. Because of prior theft convictions, he's being held on a $2,500 bond.
A Brevard County man is taking the word impatient to a whole new level. Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey says fire rescue crews were working on a patient in the back of an ambulance when all of a sudden their ambulance began to move. One of them got out and saw Lane Featheringill behind the wheel.
The sheriff says he told responders he wanted the ambulance to move so he could get through the driveway. So he then hopped in his car and sped off, hitting a paramedic in the leg, they say, as he did so. He's facing grand theft auto and burglary charges. Bonding over wheelchair basketball on the home court of the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, that's what a group of wounded veterans had a chance to do today. And it was more than just a game. A survey shows nearly 80% of veterans say they feel isolated. That's why the Wounded Warrior Project says they brought these veterans out to learn about the adaptive sport.
They say they want to help break the isolation, get warriors out of the house, and let them connect with their community.
It's about bringing the connection with our warriors to build a new community to each other. It's to allow them to hopefully maybe get off the couch, find some new interest within their means, and start a community so that way they can have a new purpose and guidance and direction moving forward.
Veterans and the Wounded Warrior Project say it helps them build friendships that last beyond just the basketball court.
For a daily conversational look at breaking news and stories shaping up around Central Florida, join us for News 6 at 3 o'clock.
Matt and I hope you'll join us there every weekday.
In just hours, you may see something unusual if you look up in the sky. A blood moon eclipse will break down when it will be at its peak. Julie.
I think we will be in pretty good shape to see that total lunar eclipse. Satellite and radar imagery showing most of us are seeing clear skies. We'll time it out for you hour by hour and talk about when we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 80s in minutes.
Just into News 6, it's not every day you see passengers walking the tarmac of one of the busiest airports in the world. Why they had to evacuate by emergency slide. And as the U.S. and Israel keep pounding targets in Tehran and beyond, Iran fires back at our allies. The latest from the front lines and the fallout in D.C. You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Monday night, covering College Park, Daytona Beach, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
Now on News 6, a chaotic sight in California. A passenger's cell phone video shows how 250 people use the emergency slides and stairs to get off their airplane. Not every day do you see people walking the tarmac at Los Angeles International. The United Airlines flight bound for Newark had to turn around and return to LAX this morning. A fire alarm went off when an engine caught fire on the 787 Dreamliner. No one was seriously hurt. Tonight, Qatar and Bahrain are the latest U.S. allies dealing with incoming drone and missile strikes launched by Iran. This is video of Bahrain, which has intercepted dozens of those attacks. At least one person is dead there. Meantime, we are seeing what's left of a police station in Tehran, one of hundreds of military and government sites inside Iran targeted by U.S. and Israeli forces. Tonight, President Trump said the escalating campaign will likely last several weeks, as CBS's Olivia Rinaldi reports at least 6 members of the U.S. Armed Forces are now dead.
The U.S.'s campaign against Iran continued Monday with ongoing airstrikes. The Pentagon says this video shows the U.S. military striking one of 11 Iranian ships that have reportedly been sunk since the attack on Iran began.
We're already substantially ahead of our time projections. We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
The president reiterated in comments to reporters Monday that the attack on Iran was necessary.
This was our last best chance to strike.
But Democratic lawmakers aren't so certain, expressing concern over why an attack of this scale did not involve congressional approval.
This is Trump's war. This is a war of choice. He has no strategy. He has no end game.
All of this comes as the Pentagon shared the number of U.S. servicemen killed in the operation has grown.
It happened to hit a tactical operations center that was fortified, but these are powerful weapons.
The U.S. and Israeli campaign against Iran continues to draw mixed global reaction, with a number of European allies expressing concern. On Monday, the European Commission president warned of the long-term implications.
From energy to nuclear, from transport to migration to security, we must be prepared for the fallout from these recent events.
But Iran continues to retaliate against U.S. allies in the Middle East, firing missiles upon Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Israel. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, Washington.
There is a rare sight in the sky tonight, but you may have to wake up pretty early in order to see it. A total lunar eclipse is coming in the early morning hours of Tuesday. So this one is called a blood moon because it will turn the moon a deep reddish orange color. So here's the timeline for you. The moon should start appearing to disappear around 3:44 in the morning. The total eclipse will be visible, or rather invisible, starting at 6:04 tomorrow morning. The most intense reddish color will come at 6:34. The total eclipse ends at about 7:03. But sunrise is at 6:48, so it may be a little tough to tell at that time. Meteorologist Julie Broughton standing by. Clouds will hopefully not be interfering with that for us, Julie.
Yeah, I think most of us will be in pretty good shape. If you're along the coast, I think we could be dealing with a little bit of cloud cover. But Lisa gave us that timeline, so I think that works out pretty nicely. I know a lot of you are up around that time taking your kids to school, maybe walking the dog. So 6:33 is when we're talking about the eclipse maximum. So really should be a beautiful sight for those of us who get to see it. If you want to head out and check it out, look in the lower part of the sky off toward the west, and that should be your best bet. So again, we have that total lunar eclipse tonight coinciding with that full moon, with that blood moon. Then early Tuesday as well, we're looking at that potential of some patchy fog. I don't think we'll see quite as much as we did this morning, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility to see reduced visibility in some spots tomorrow. And then as we head through the rest of the week, we'll continue our warming trend with a few showers. Now we're already seeing at least the beginning of that warming trend. Your almanac page for today, we hit a high of 83 after a morning low of 58. Normals this time of year, 77 and 54. Here's what it looks like for you right now. This is 10:20 on our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera, showing 67 degrees. We won't cool down a whole lot more tonight. Right now we have clear skies, so hopefully those stick around for most of us so we can check out that total lunar eclipse. 66 in Ocala, 64 in Wildwood, 68 in Kissimmee. Satellite imagery showing again a little bit of cloud cover out over the Atlantic, along with some isolated showers. Some of these have been brushing the coastline, but not really holding together very well. However, we are going to keep about a 10 to 20% chance of a shower around overnight and into tomorrow. Here's your clouds and rain forecast. We stopped the clock at 6 o'clock. Again, we're talking about the maximum eclipse around 6:33. So again, a little bit more cloud cover really for southern Brevard County over into Osceola County, but I think most of us will see pretty clear skies. Then we could see a few spotty showers for that morning drive. Overall, though, I think we'll see a nice amount of sunshine tomorrow. So for tonight, we fall to 57 in Ocala, 60 in Leesburg, and 62 in Kissimmee. Your hour-by-hour forecast for tomorrow featuring London, showing we start the day at 64, warming to a high of 82 by 3 o'clock. 7-day forecast, keeping a few isolated showers in the picture as we head through each and every day, with highs in the mid-80s by the end of the week. And by the way, don't forget to spring forward on Saturday night into Sunday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I am standing on the brand new Lake Apopka Connector Trail here in Orange County. I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Jana Manahwal, and this trail is huge and fantastic because it's not only for bikers or walkers, it's also for horses.
1, 2, 3.
So this brand new trail will serve as a connector between Lake County and Orange County, and this trail is long. The brand new construction is 3 out of 4 miles for this trail. I have never seen so many bikers in one spot for a trail opening. I mean, this is a big deal.
Well, you know, I will tell you, when we posted about this, we had 50,000 views. It was the most popular post I'd ever had.
The biggest advantage of this trail is safety. Bikers tell me that they used to have to ride on the roads before this trail was open.
That's the scariest section that you have to ride on because there's no berm for us to get on the road. So we're riding on the white line, so you have the cars buzz right by you.
All right, so this new bike trail is, of course, for bikers, runners, but also horses. You feel safe with the bike riders and how fast they go?
They're usually pretty good about everything.
So you're probably wondering, with bikers and runners, there's got to be some sort of safety risk with having horses on this trail as well. But Mayor Jerry Deming says not so much.
The horse riders have to be responsive in what they're doing, just like the children and the bicycle riders and everything. So one of the things that we do through our Parks and Recreation Department is teach about the safety-related issues.
What do you think about the fact that there's horses on this bike trail? I think that kind of surprised me.
I don't see their bikes, so I guess they could just walk.
It's really exciting because I actually was part of the team that designed it, so to see it all come to fruition, it's kind of surreal.
The trail is free for everybody to use, so come on out and join me. For now in Orange County, I'm Jada Manahwal, News 6.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. It's free to download on your smart TV or streaming device. Have a great night.